Gen Xer with a good classic case of burnout. Didn't understand about all that until just a few years ago. I'm at the point in my life to where I've got enough years in on my job to retire, but the finances and the years don't match up yet. And I need to work at least 5 more years. I ask myself the question, can I make it 5 more years? Can I do this 5 more years? Because I went out for lunch today on my lunch break, and I've just pulled up in the parking lot, and I don't want to get out of the truck. My get up and go sometimes, as the old saying goes, is it got up and went. And it's hard to continue to push, but we're from a generation that you bow up and you keep moving and you keep going. We wake up tired. We go to bed tired. We go to the doctor. We get all the blood work done because we think there might be something wrong with us physically, and all the blood tests come back normal. They do a stress test. All that comes back normal. You think, what's wrong with me? Why am I this way? Why do I just want to sit here in this truck in a parking lot and just stare and not go back in there? Because we've been doing it for a long time. A lot of us has been working since we were kids. And not only that, our parents worked. And I was the only child growing up. So your experience may be a little bit different than mine. It may not. But our parents worked a job and they provided for the family. My mom worked 15 hours a day because she owned her own business. My dad worked in construction as a concrete finisher, so his hours varied different times, and then he coon hunted at night. And so a lot of times I was home alone. I got myself to school when I got older. I got myself home, whether it was a school bus, whether I walked. And then you got home, you managed because there would be a jar of peanut butter or some cereal in the cabinet and some milk in the refrigerator. And you washed your own clothes, and sometimes you would just go off in the neighborhood and play with other kids or whatever you did. So we've just learned to be survivors, and that's who we are. And something I deal with in this whole thing is, with the burnout is I feel guilty when I try to give myself permission to slow down. Give myself permission to relax. And I made some videos about the overstimulation in the world that we live in today with our phones and the technology. And, and I've talked about our life before all that and how simpler that was. And it was. But it's so hard for me just to not be thinking about something, looking up something, trying to set up some financial independence through having a YouTube channel. Working on that, thinking about the next video and different things, and trying to work that to when I do retire, give me something to do and have an outlet in different things as well. So it's just always something. Trying to figure that out. I remember asking a man that was, old enough to be my dad, and it's been about, 8 or 9 years ago. I remember asking him this question right here. I said, how do you slow things down in life with all the responsibilities and of working a job and being involved with your church and being a father and a husband and keeping things up around your house and this and that? It's just like today, I've had 2 requests of things that I've got to do when I get home, or on my way home, I should say. Got to stop and pick some things up and just things like that, because you're needed. And it's nice to be needed. But I find myself doing all the time, and I find myself not taking time for me, and I didn't realize there, until, the last couple years that, I'm burnt out. And I'm in that survival mode a lot of times. I had somebody tell me this morning, about me taking pride in my work and everything, and I just looked at him, I said, I do my best, but I can tell you this, to be honest with you, I don't take as much pride as I used to. It's not that I hate my job, it's just that I'm just tired and my mind stays busy all the time. Can you relate? If you can, let me know in the comments below. How do you sleep at night? Some nights I can sleep really good, but some nights I can't slow this right here down. Or these old bones of mine are hurting and they wake me up. And if I wake up in the middle of the night sometimes, if I ever get to moving or I have to get up for some reason or another, the mind gets to going again and sometimes I can't go back to sleep. It's just kind of weird how that works, isn't it? I'm glad I've been able to pinpoint and identify what the issue is, the burnout, but I still don't know how to deal with it. I'm still trying to figure that out. Will I ever figure that out? Well, I think the day that I can finally not have to answer to someone else in a 9 to 5, so to speak, job every day, 5 days a week, and being able to have my own agenda and do things more on my terms, because I have set some boundaries, and that has helped in my life. I told my wife the other day, I said, I think my new name needs to be Mr. No-No, because I tell people no a whole lot more than I used to. I mean, a whole lot more. But anyway, you know, I usually end these videos by saying, hey, go out there and do something good for somebody today. Listen, I don't want to tell you to go do anything else right now, because you may be burned out. So I think we just need to give ourselves permission to rest. Y'all have a good day.